We will continue on with Chapter 7 and more theft crimes. In this presentation, we're going to focus only on the Model Penal Code and its definitions of the various crimes. The Model Penal Code, in its theft statutes, focuses on depriving an owner of their property. And as you can see here, there are basically two ways that a thief can deprive an owner of his or her property. One is what we normally think of, which is you withhold the property of that person either permanently or for such an extended period of time as it is for such a period of time that it basically loses a major, as the Model Penal Code says, a major portion of its economic value. So this isn't, taking someone's pen for a couple seconds and writing something and putting it back down on the table, but you're either withholding it permanently or you're taking for such a period of time that it's essentially cost the owner a major portion of its economic value. So again, we would, if you're caught while you have the stolen property, then we would assume that basically you were planning to take it away permanently from the owner. That would be the deprivation that we'd find in most thefts. But it could be these others where you're just keeping it for a long period of time and basically destroying its economic value. We can see there's also another or. It's or with intent to restore only upon payment of reward or other compensation. So if you take something and say, I'm not giving it back to you until you pay me to get it back, that would also be depriving the owner. The second way, so those were really three subways under the first part of deprivation. The second way, major way that you can deprive someone is to dispose of the property, so to get rid of it, so as to make it unlikely the owner will recover it. So maybe you don't keep it for yourself, as we would assume that you're doing in Part A, but in Part B you get rid of it so it makes it unlikely that the owner will ever get it back. So you sell it, you destroy it, whatever you may do, but the owner will not be able to recover it. So either of those two ways, A or B, are ways that you can deprive someone of their property. The first kind of theft that we'll look at, so these mirror some of the ones we already looked at in the first presentation, the PowerPoint presentation that we made for Chapter 7 when we talked about the common law. But the first major category of Model Penal Code theft is theft by unlawful taking or disposition. So this is what we normally think of when we think of a theft. So we can see that a person is guilty of theft if he unlawfully takes or exercises control over